In today's digital landscape, website speed is a critical factor that can make or break your online presence. Slow loading websites not only frustrate visitors, but also affect your search engine rankings. By optimizing your website speed, you can improve user experience and boost your SEO performance. In this video, we'll explore how to measure your website speed, and I'll also demonstrate some proven strategies for optimizing your WordPress website. So whether you're a business owner, a marketer, or a web developer, this video will get you on track into having a faster, better performing website. The first step is measuring how fast your current website actually is. If you're just testing it on a web browser, you mightn't get a realistic representation of how fast the website loads for different users across the globe and on different devices and platforms. So we're going to take advantage of some online tools to run some tests, and these will objectively measure the performance of your website. The first one we're going to take a look at is Pagespeed, which is a Google tool, part of the Webmaster Tools, which you can access by going to the website at Pagespeed.web.dev, and I'll leave a link to this website in the description box below. To use it, all you need to do is to type in your website address into the URL field and click on Analyze, and it will show you the performance of your website for mobile users and desktop users. If I scroll down the screen, you can see that this website that I recently optimized is achieving a performance score of 98%. This site has been optimized and it's performing very well according to the Pagespeed.web.dev website. Now, there's also the Pingdom speed test, which you can access at tools.pingdom.com. I'll leave a link to this website in the description box below as well. Again, type in your web address into the URL field and click on Start Test. Then allow the test to perform. This could take anywhere up to a minute. Scroll down the page and this will reveal your performance grade. Again, this measurement tool has put the site at a performance grade of 96%, which is A grade performance. And if you look further down, it actually breaks down the different components of the optimization and how they're going, from the compression to all the other features that I've implemented in order to improve the speed of the website. So once you've gone to these web tools and tested out your website, if you're not getting an A or B score, then I would highly recommend you follow the preceding steps, and I'll show you how you can improve your site performance speed. The first thing you need to do is to make sure that you have some kind of image optimization plugin for WordPress. To access the plugins, click on the plugins menu on the left-hand side, click on Add New, type in the word Smush in the search field, and there'll be a few different options that you could download. We're going to use the Smush Lazy Load Images Optimize and Compress by WPMU Developments. This has had over 1 million active installs. It's a very popular image compression tool. Click on the install button and then activate. Click on the Smush logo on the left-hand side menu. Click on Bulk Smush and have it compress all of your images in the WordPress library automatically. You can have a look at the total savings of all of the images in this WordPress website is 46 megabytes. So that's 29% improvement in terms of the actual image size, which is going to result in a faster loading web page. The next thing you can do to boost the performance of your website is to install a cache plugin. To do that, click on the plugins icon on the menu on the left-hand side, click on Add New, and in the search field, type the word cache. The first one that comes up in the list, and probably for good reason, is Lightspeed Cache, which has over 4 million active installations. This happens to be my cache plugin of choice, and I think it does a great job of optimizing your website. Install that. Once installed, you can click on the Lightspeed Cache menu icon on the left-hand menu, scroll down, and you can go into the presets and you can select any of the presets that would work best with your website. You can test these out and see which one performs the best. I find the advanced recommended one does a great job of improving the site performance. Once you've done that, I would suggest that you go into page optimization, click on the CSS minify option, which will condense the CSS files to make them smaller and therefore faster to load, and then click on the JS settings tab and click on JS minify. You can also combine all of your JS files, which would save some load time, but this can break some themes. So if you are going to use this feature, turn it on, go to the front end of your website and test it, and provided nothing's broken, you can leave it on. But if it's actually causing problems with your website's appearance, turn it off, and you'll still get some gain out of having the minify option turned on. You can also turn HTML minify on, and that's probably enough to give you a great performance increase on your website. The next thing I wanted to talk about is checking your database and improving the performance of the database. If you've been using your website for a while and you've published multiple pages, you've got lots of draft posts, and perhaps you've installed plugins and themes in the experimentation phase as you're building, the database is going to accumulate a lot of content that may need to be optimized. So we can use the same Lightspeed cache to improve the performance of our database. To do that, click on the Database tab under Lightspeed Cache, and in the Manage tab, you'll see that you have an option to clear all, which will clear the post revisions, the drafts, trash posts, spam comments, trackbacks and pings, expired transients, and even optimize tables. So you can do that and click on clean all, or you can click on individual options here just to clean those specific tables in the database. If you scroll down, you'll see a database summary. Now, you'd only use this if you're running into problems with your website being exceedingly slow. Some databases can total 20 to 40 megabytes, which could be quite large for a standard brochureware website. And if that's the case, there's probably some issues with some old theme files or plugins that have been stored in the database and haven't been deleted. And you can identify that in the database summary. Now, when it comes to cleaning them out, this is an advanced task. So this is something that you might want to offload to your web developer or a consultant that can help you that's expert in this area. If you do want to do it yourself, there are a number of tutorials that you could search on how to delete tables in the database. But really, I would have to reiterate that you should be very careful when doing this type of work. Back up the website completely and make sure you know what you're doing before you start deleting database tables. So now that we've installed our image optimization plugin, a cache plugin, and checked our database, the next thing we're going to do is to install gzip on our server. Most WordPress websites are hosted with a cPanel server environment, which gives you access to change the configuration on the server. Now, if you don't have access to cPanel, you may need to get in touch with your hosting provider and ask them to turn gzip compression on for you. Now, if you do have cPanel, scroll down to the software section and click on Optimize Website. And this by default is probably set to disabled. Click on Compress All Content and Update Settings, and you've now turned gzip compression on. This is a form of server-side compression, which further compresses and optimizes the site files, resulting in faster loading time. Now, the final thing I wanted to talk about was the PHP version, and this can make a significant difference to the loading time and the performance of your website in general. And to do this, you can go into the PHP setting in the software section again. To change the PHP version, next to current PHP version, select the version you want to move to from the drop-down list. I'll go from 7.4 to 8.1 in this example, and then click on Apply. Head over to the front end of the website and check that everything has remained intact. If there's any issues, you can always revert back to the previous version by selecting it from the drop-down list and clicking on apply once more. So there are the 5 quick tips for improving the performance of your WordPress website. If you enjoyed this video, hit me up with a like. If you have any comments or questions, drop them in the comments box below, and I'll endeavor to get back to you as soon as possible. And by all means, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to subscribe to the channel so that you're notified of up and coming video releases. See you on the next one. Bye for now.